Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Don Uncensored. I'm your host, Dion the Don Young. This week on the Don Uncensored, we're recapping the NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics are NBA champs. Last week in Atlanta, I had a chance to experience Messi in Argentina at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And Friday, I had a chance to experience the Caitlin Clark experience. And this week is the NBA Draft. We're talking about NBA Draft. All that and more on the Don Uncensored. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Don Uncensored. I'm your host, Dion the Don Young. The NBA Finals wrapped up about a week or so ago, week and a half ago. Boston Celtics are NBA champs. One of the probably people say the worst finals ever. Going into the matchup of you seeing Boston and Dallas Mavericks, people thought it would be a classic NBA Finals. I'm one of those people that thought that matchup would have been perfect for the ratings for the NBA 7-game series. A Boston Celtics team that's looking to reach that pinnacle with two young superstars, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Been to that moment before and failing in that moment in 2022 against the Golden State Warriors. And then you have that Dallas Mavericks team that made some trades at the trade deadline, and they've ran this course. They've run through the Western Conference. Some say they got lucky avoiding the Denver Nuggets and Timberwolves, getting the Timberwolves in a tired Timberwolves team that had to play Denver, and Dallas Mavericks took care of them in the Western Conference Finals. People say that trade deadline that they helped getting PJ Washington and Gafford, the player Derek Lively in the playoffs as well, really catapulted them to the finals. And the play of Kyrie Irving all season, him and Luka being that 1-2 punch, and NBA Finals star, and then the Boston Celtics, the better team. Luka Doncic banked up, and Kyrie never really showing up in the finals. So the Boston Celtics get the gentleman's sweep, 4-1 series win. Jaylen Brown being the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. The big debate of who's better on the team, Jaylen Brown or just Tatum. You can debate all you want. I mean, they're both great players. Jaylen Brown was good this playoffs alone. Jaylen Brown was the best player. And Jason Tatum came along when he needed to. He had a good closeout game, a good series overall, I would say. But in that closeout game, he really showed up. So, Boston Celtics are NBA champs. They outplayed the Dallas Mavericks almost every game except for that game 4 of the series in Dallas. So yeah, that was a complete blowout. Except for that game, they controlled the series. So they wanted to celebrate on their home court, though, it seems like, or Scott Foster effect came in to, to extend the series. So that's that. Now we'll see where the Dallas Mavericks will go and see what the Boston Celtics can repeat. NBA draft is coming up, and the Atlanta Hawks are looking for their next potential star player. And as far as the eyes can see, it look like it won't be Alex Sarr, because Alex Sarr look like he doesn't want to play in Atlanta. So Atlanta probably looking to draft Donovan Cleveland, center from Connecticut. That would be the second choice, I would say, if Alex Sarr chooses not to want to play here. He has already supposedly told the Hawks, who knows what to believe in this time of year. In any draft, NBA draft, NFL draft, who knows what to believe. So, like, Donovan Cleveland could be the Hawks' choice. I prefer Alex Sarr, but you have to go with who wants to play here, who wants to be in that spotlight of being in Atlanta, who, as Alex Sarr might have been here before playing in Overtime Elite. He's seen the city. He's been around the city. He's probably not comfortable here. He wants to be in a city that he's comfortable. So, a lot of questions to be answered in the NBA draft. Where would Bronny James go? JJ Redick has been named the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron is looking to re-sign there. JJ Redick and LeBron have been linked pretty cool with the Mind the Game podcast they had going on. So maybe JJ Redick is looking to draft Bronny. Rob Pelinka looking to draft Bronny to keep LeBron there for years to come. 2 years left, maybe, in LeBron James' career. And we'll see where that takes us. Who would be the third player chosen? Got Castle from Connecticut, point guard, shooting guard. So we know 1 and 2 basically. It's all about the third. This could be Alex Sarr teammate from France. So will there be any trades? This is the week draft. Will there be any trades to trade up for positioning in the NBA draft? One of the weakest drafts ever in probably draft history. And the Atlanta Hawks got that pick, so number 1 pick. It's gonna be some recapping of the draft when the draft is final, probably this week or next week. I will recap the draft on the episode. Looking forward to doing that. Last week, Thursday and Friday was busy days in Atlanta, sports-wise. Argentina and Messi was in town to play Canada in a Copa America group stage match. And on Friday, Caitlin Clark and the Fever were in town to play the Atlanta Dream. And both experiences were top-notch. Both stadium and arena was full of Caitlin Clark fans, Messi fans, and both experiences lived up to the hype. My first time seeing one of the soccer goats in person in Lionel Messi. He had an off match, but I felt as though just to see him in person live and the impact he has on people was one to see. It feels like he's God to most people, him and Ronaldo. So it's pretty interesting to see how people hold their sports icons on a pedestal above any other person in their life, and how those people impact them and what they do in their life. And any negative impact, any like arrest or any issue with the law, how that can impact them, that person that holds them to a high standard in their life. Like, for instance, if Messi gets a DUI charge, how will people hold that to, how would that impact their life? And it's crazy to see how people put their sports icons on different pedestals than most. Caitlin Clark experience. State Farm Arena was packed, full of different races. Just get their eyes on a bona fide upcoming superstar like Caitlin Clark. It seems to me that she has found her rhythm in the WNBA. She's found her niche. The team is playing more confident now. Coming into Atlanta, they was playing more confident. They recently lost to the Chicago Sky this past Sunday in one of the classic WNBA games. Game of the year, Fever versus the Sky. Angel Reese had 25 points, 16 rebounds. Caitlin Clark, I think, had 17 points, 11 assists. I mean, from start to finish, that Chicago Sky and Fever game was intense. One of the best games I've seen in the WNBA in a long time. But in Atlanta, the arena was full to the brim. One of the best experience in a long time I had a WNBA game. I was at that same arena when Candace Parker, I think Candace Parker first travels to Atlanta as a pro with the LA Sparks. And that arena was not that full. There was when the Dream was playing all that games at State Farm Arena, and you can barely probably get maybe 300, 400 people into that arena. And Caitlin Clark coming in years later to that same arena, and every seat was full. It was more packed than for a WBA game than a Hawks, maybe a Hawks playoff game. That goes to show you the impact of social media. Like I mentioned in my last episode, the impact of social media. Caitlin Clark is a numbers driver. She drives money. She's gonna drive a lot of money into the WNBA for years to come. And when that salary cap when contracts come up, Asia Wilson should be the first one in line to get that big money contract. Breonna Stewart, first in line to get that big money contract. The money is coming fast in the WNBA. And Caitlin Clark will be the first to say, I told you so. I was coming. You're welcome. To the ladies at W. That's all this week on the Don Uncensored. I'll be back recapping the NBA draft. Talk about all that and more next time on the Don Uncensored.